Hi, my name is Rabin and I'm going to be showing you how to create controls in the graph. In the graph you can create any type of control that is available in the toolbox here, along with some other type of controls that are currently not supported in the designer. Now let's start simple by creating a button. Go to UI, go to button and click new. Now we have created the button, but if we run the application you can see the button is not showing in the form. So you need to add the button to the form first. To do that, you need to go to UI, Form, Add Control. Now attach the button to the control port here, and as you can see you need to call this for it to add the button to the form. So we're going to go to the designer, we're going to go right click on the form and click events, and we're going to catch the load event. There you go. And so what this does, as soon as the form loads, it's going to add this button to the form. Now let's test it and see. As you can see, the button is added to the form, but it's located at the top left corner and it doesn't have any text on it. So that is because we haven't set any properties of the button. So to do that, we're going to have to go back to the graph, click on the info button, go to set, going to set its text. There you go, there's a text property. Now let's create a string. Let's call it button and attach the string to the text property. Now let's test it again. Now as you can see, the button has text. As the button is located at the top left corner, we don't want it there. So what we're going to do is set its location. There you go. Create a point. Want it located at let's say 150. It's connected, and let's try it again. See, now the button has moved. The button without its events is useless, but fortunately we have events here, which we can set the events directly in the node. For example, we're going to get the click event, and there you go. Now all you need to do is attach other nodes to it. There you go. Let's run it. Click, and there you go. Now let's create something a bit more complex. For that, we're going to create a menu strip. Going to go to UI, menu strip, new, attach it to the control port, and let's set its properties. Let's say back color so we can see it properly, and variable color, let's just pick color. There you go. And now let's see. There you go, you can see it on top. It doesn't have any menu items, so we're going to create some. Let's go back to UI, menu strip, menu item, and connect it to the items port here. There you go. And we need to set its text property so we can see it. Let's name it file, for example. File, connect it to this, and now let's see. There you go. See, you can see file there. Now let's create some sub menus for it. Let's move these first. There you go. Now let's create a sub item for the file menu. Menu item. Connect to this, and we need to also set its text property. For example, we're gonna new and text property, connect it to this. Now let's try it. There you go. And this is the same way as other controls. You can just get its events, for example click events or any other event, and attach nodes to it. One thing for you to know is that these ports here, like drop down items and items, they take multiple nodes. So you can create another menu item here, for example, and all you need to do is attach it to the drop down items here. And just for the sake of argument, let's try it and see how that's going to work out. Let's call this open, and there you go, attach. Now let's try out and see. There you go. As you can see, any controls you create should be added to the form or panels or group boxes or any other controls that accept other controls in order for them to show up. That is, except two controls, which are notify icon and context menu strip. Notify icons are created and not added to anything, and context menu strips are just associated with other controls. Now let's create a context menu strip or a right click menu. I'm just going to go to UI, context menu strip, new. Since context menu strips, just like menu strips, they also accept these items. So what we're just going to do is going to delete this and going to associate this with this. And since we can't add context menu strips to forms or any other controls, we're just going to delete this. Now what we need to do is associate this with a control. For example, we're just going to create a button and create a reference and going to set its context menu strip. There you go, and this is associated with this, and there you go. Let's give it a try. If you right click on it, there you go. That's it for now. See you next time.